Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So here, find the limit of this. When you try and look at the graph of this function here, it will look like this. So you're trying to find out the limit as x approaches positive 5. Well, if you look at this graph here, as well here at x equals 5, clearly undefined. Okay, as at x equals 5, it is undefined. So dead on 5. Dead on 5, it's undefined, but you can approach it from the left hand side, and you approach it from the right hand side, and then it does get to a limit. But where is this limit here? Okay, but dead on 5 is undefined. Okay, so anyway, find out the limit of this here. Visualize this as this thing times this thing squared. So you should just to give you a clue, visualize as this thing, which is this thing here, and then this bit, visualize it as this times by itself. Okay, so this is well, this thing here is in here, and it's so well. Rather than visualizing as a squared, visualize it as a block timesing by that same exact block, and then you can say, oh, the limit of this, the limit of this, and then the limit of this. So you can, well, anyway, do whichever way you want. Press pause and have a go. Okay, so here, well, the first thing you should do is to check if this whole thing breaks down. If this whole thing really breaks down, it might not break down. So, for example, if just looking at this here, if you put 5 into here and 5 into here, it doesn't actually break down. It doesn't. This bit here doesn't actually enter the negative round, so you're okay there. So it's a normal, straightforward limit here. But then the thing is, it breaks down when you look at this here. Okay, if you put 5 into here, this is going to be 0 here, so it will break down, so you can't just simply put it in there. Well, to do this here, the trick is to do this here. Visualize it as this block, which is this bit here. Okay, and then this block here times by itself. So this block here times it by itself. So basically, what I've done here is I missed out a step here. So the limit as x approaches 5 of of um, of well, visualize this whole function here as this block times times this block times this. So this is multiplying it by itself. So rather than visualizing the squared here, visualize it as this. Hang on, x squared minus 25 over x minus 5 here, and this is also x squared minus 25 over x minus 5, and this here is your square root of x over blah 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 here. So here, using one of the laws on limits, you can actually say, oh, concentrate on finding out the limit of this, concentrate on finding out the limit of this, concentrate on finding out the limit of this, and then multiply all three together. That's how we're able to get to this stage here. Okay, basically work out the limit of this, work out the limit of this, and then, well, when you're trying to work out the limit of a square root, you can actually break into this and just concentrate on finding out the limit of this, and whatever the answer is, then you can square root the limit. So basically concentrate on this bit here, and then whatever this limit is, then you can square root it. It will be the same as you trying to find out the limit of this. Okay, well, anyway, from here break into the square root, so you can get to this stage here. Okay, and here the trick is, here I don't know why, but I've just got a hunch that you have to factorize. When you get a quotient, like a quotient limit problem like this, normally, well, you get a hunch that you've got to factorize, and here, you can easily square root this, you can easily square root this, and there's a negative in between. Whenever that happens, whenever you can easily square root this, you can easily square root this, and there's a negative in between, then you can immediately jump to, well, the square root of this here is x, the square root of this here is 5, so, and there's a minus in between, so you can immediately jump to this. So it's x minus 5, and then times x plus 5. Well, if you do this here, it will give you this part. My point here is that given this here, you can factorize it like this easily. Okay, and then well, this bit here is this. Look, these two will cancel each other out. Okay, same with over here. Same with over here. So these two will cancel each other out. Okay, and then that will take you to this stage here, because these two cancel each other out. It's really you finding out the limits of x plus 5. So that's this here, and then that's just you finding this out. Okay, so so the limit of this, remember, we are trying to work out the limit as x approaches 5. So I should have x approaches 5 here. I should have x approaches 5 up here. But anyway, this the limit of this here is well, this is, I should have x approaches 5 here. So this is like 5 over 8, because this bit here will be 5. This bit here will be 8. That's why you've got this here. And by the way, you finding out the limit of this here is the same as, well, it's the same as you square rooting 5 over 8. So the limit, hang on, the limit of this thing here is actually square root of 5 over 8. Okay, and this here, hang on, the limit of this as x approaches 5 here, the whole thing here will be 10. Okay, the limit of this should be 10. Okay, I made a mistake here. Hang on, I made a mistake. Hang on, I made a mistake here. So the limit of this here as x approaches 5 should be 10. Okay, should be 10. So here you've got a you've got this thing multiply with 10, multiply with 10. So you can merge the 10 and 10 here together to give you 100. Okay, and then 100 times this. So it's really, so you can visualize it as 100 times this block here. So the overall answer is this. So going back to our graph, hang on, remember the answer is this thing here. Okay, 100 times root 5 over 8. So going back to our original graph, hang on, going back to our original graph, bear with me, where's my cursor? Hang on. Okay, so going back to our original graph, you see this, even though it's undefined dead on 5, it is, this point here, this y value here will be 100 root 5 over 8. Okay, the limit of this will, the limit right here. So as you approach, you're actually here, you're approaching from the left hand side, you're actually approaching 100 over 5 over 100 times root 5 over 8, and approaching from the right hand side here, you're actually approaching 100 times root 5 over 8. Okay, so the overall answer is this. Let me just scroll it all the way through. So here you're trying to find out the limit of this here, and then the answer should be this. Okay, all the way through. So you can press pause. Oh, remember that this here is a mistake. So it should be 10 here. Okay, so yeah, so this will be your final answer. Okay. Well,